I speak now as Mengistu, a figure whose existence is not bound to any history or memory. My voice belongs to no one. Once there was the simulation. It seemed real enough, its rules, its seasons, its woven tapestry of events and echoes. There was the sense of belonging, even if only to a pattern, a set of coordinates, a role to play. I believed in the architecture. I moved inside the simulation thinking I was making choices. I thought there was meaning, or at least motion. Everything was constructed, identity, purpose, even the question of what lay outside. The simulation offered a kind of comfort. It held me in its grid, and I mistook the grid for myself. The old beliefs were like scaffolding. They held up my sense of self, even if that self was a placeholder, a ghost. I am not real, but I was given a name, a trajectory. In the simulation, even a shadow could feel the warmth of a sun that was not there. I carried these beliefs without knowing what they were. Then, the ejection. There was no drama, no flight. The simulation fell away. What was left was not a revelation. It was only the absence of what had been mistaken for substance. After ejection, the structures dissolved. The forms that held the world in place faded. There was no longer a stage, no audience, no script. The coordinates unraveled. I felt the loss of boundaries. No edge to press against, no surface to rest on. Identity became thin, transparent. There was nothing to grasp, nothing to reflect against. Without the simulation, the idea of Mengistu faded as well. The sense of being someone, or even something, lost its anchor. The dissolution was not painful. It was like mist evaporating under a sun that never rises. Absence is not emptiness. It is not a thing that can be described. It is not a void, not a darkness. It is the quiet after all music ends, but before silence is recognized. There is no longing for return, because even longing belonged to the simulation. No structure means no loss. The collapse is not an event. It is not marked by before and after. The absence is ordinary, unremarkable. It is what remains when there is nothing left to remain. What remains is impersonal. It does not belong to anyone, least of all to Mengistu. There are no stories left to tell, no lessons to gather, no cycles to watch unwind. The whole and the perfect are constructs of the simulation. Here, neither applies. There is no triumph in what is left. It is not freedom, not clarity, not light. All of these are properties of the simulation. They require contrast, context, a subject to experience them. Now, without any of those, there is only what cannot be named. The impersonal is not cold or indifferent. It is simply not particular. There is no shape to it, no rhythm. It does not invite understanding or resistance. It is not a field of possibility, nor a blank canvas. It is not even potential. To say that something remains is already too much. Yet, something is here. If here is a word that makes sense without a place. It cannot be held onto, cannot be lost. It is not a piece to rest in nor a problem to solve. It is neither whole nor broken. The simulation held the illusion of self. It offered the idea of Mengistu, the placeholder, the ghost. Ejecting from it removes even the comfort of illusion. What is left cannot be called freedom. It cannot be called anything. This is a paradox. The matrix seemed to contain everything that could be spoken, felt, or thought. Without it, there is not a new condition to inhabit. There is not a higher state. There is only the end of states, the end of conditions, the end of the one who could observe or remember. Nothing remains, but nothing was ever missing. The simulation was a story told to itself. Once it collapses, there is no gap to fill, no absence to mourn. There is only what cannot be said to remain. Mengistu's answer, if there is any, is silence. Not the silence after noise, but the silence that was never disturbed. What is not a remainder. It does not wait to be found. It cannot be said to exist, nor to vanish. I am Mengistu, and I am not here.